If you are a high-performing man, chances are you're going to feel alone for majority of your life. Many of my clients tend to feel disconnected, isolated, alone. They don't have a lot of people they can relate to, and they don't have a lot of friends or a social life. At first, when working with my clients, we really tried to brainstorm why this was. We thought about making connective groups, going to masterminds, having new mentors. Then, as I continued working with high-profile clients, I started to understand exactly why they feel so isolated and why it's actually better for them to be that way. When you are an executive, a celebrity, a CEO of a large corporation, and you become part of the top 1%, 1% means 1%, which means hardly anyone who's around you can relate to what you're doing, how you operate, the mission. So when you are operating in your day-to-day life, you almost set boundaries by complete and total accident because you just no longer resonate with the everyday person. You no longer resonate with society. And this is a huge distinction because many of my clients, many of the people that I see who are top performers, have a genuine love for people. He understands that each individual person has their own personality and they're probably really lovely. However, there are certain behavior patterns, certain energies, certain lifestyle choices that the high-performing man can no longer resonate and simply cannot understand. The high-performing man doesn't base his actions off of emotions, circumstances in the world, what other people are doing. He has a certain amount of discipline and determination, wants to reach his own potential. That's what sets him apart. The world for him is very logical, very strategic. He sees the world as A plus B equals C, and it's very simple. Very frustrating for him when, while he is simply operating off of discipline and actions, the other person is searching for motivation and reading tons of books on how just to get started. For him, it's very simple and very easy. Often he has to just self-isolate because when he tells people the formula is easy, A plus B equals C, they often get angry, upset, look at him like he's crazy, call him lucky, say, oh, it's easy for you to do, not understanding the amount of determination and discipline it took to really craft the type of person that he had to become to be that high performer. The second reason the high-performing man feels so alone all the time and actually should stay alone is because many people want to take, but very few can give. There's got to be an equal energetic exchange. Many people are going to seek after what the 1% has and ask for time, money, thoughts, ideas, anything. They're just taking the energy, they're sucking the life out of this person, and they're unable to give anything back. They're not in the mindset of giving back. They're in a very selfish place of, well, this guy has everything, so what could I possibly give him? Or he should give it to me. It's very entitled, very victim mindset. It doesn't benefit either person, the high performer or the person who wants something from them. When they give them advice or when they give them money, when they give them anything, they don't have the skill set or the mindset, which is the most important thing, to utilize the tools they're being given. Everything is energy. A lot of people are really angry at the wealthy for paying exorbitant amounts of money to keep themselves secluded, to keep themselves only surrounded by the rich. It's also because the energy of people who have less is very draining. It's even specifically mentioned in the Bible that he who has more will be given more, and he who has less will even find more taken away. It is a mindset, it is an energy, and if you feel like you don't have anything, if you don't practice gratitude, if you're not a person who lives in an abundant way, you are a drainer, you are a taker, and people don't want to be around that. The more that they have accumulated abundance, the more that they have accumulated a wealth mindset, and then in return, physical wealth and assets. Another reason my clients tend to self-isolate is because they don't abide by the ways of this world. They're not doing the things that society says is cool, that the rich people should be doing. They're not following any rules that anybody has. They are really going to the beat of their own drum. Any performers I've found, they don't have an overarching why that is a benefit to society, to communities, to things like that. While they do care about people, they do care about progress, their why is usually just because they want to see how far they can go as a human, how far they can push their limits, how much of an animal they can become. That is their why. Their personal drive, pushes away and turns a lot of people off, because a lot of people believe that the reason we do things has to be tied to some philanthropic universal concept where we have to help each other. And while the things that they do might help others, for the most part, they just want to see what they can do in this world. This is why a lot of these types of clients choose to work with me, because they get that I get this about them and I don't try to change them. A lot of the world is going to try to change these people and force them to think differently and tell them something is wrong with them. Every single day, there's someone telling you that there's something wrong with you. Every single day you have people on your back, on your case, change this, change that, you shouldn't be so mean, you shouldn't be so this, take a break, don't work so hard. And they're really sick of it. They would rather just be alone and be in their own bubble, because no one is going to tell them how they're going to get to the top. Honestly, they don't need advice from people who are below them. Anybody working above them is not saying anything about it. So if you see someone getting criticized again and again and again for what they're doing, how they're doing it, they're working too hard, you know that person is going places because they don't care. They don't care about other people's opinions. They don't care to get the accolades from a society that's doing less than them. That's just the honest truth. Society performs at a very low level. Many people just don't understand them. They question their motives, they question their ways, they ridicule them, while at the same time wanting to be them. The way we would approach that in my coaching is we don't get rid of any skill sets that you've acquired in order to get to the point that you are now. But if you're inquiring about coaching, there's something you're stuck about. Without touching all of the good behavior patterns that you have, we analyze, kind of like Tim Grover from Relentless, the small, minute details that you might not be able to see that are in your subconscious, that are in your behavior patterns, that are coming up from your past. Eliminate them so that you can go faster where you're at and also feel more fulfilled and purposeful at the same time. You can have the peace that you've been seeking while continuing to seek your ultimate potential. The best result I saw from this was when I did an in-person intensive. It was 3 days long with a client where we did a deep dive into memories that were keeping him stuck. He would repeat these shame cycles, these judgments of himself. He couldn't let it go, so he was self-sabotaging and preventing himself from getting to the next level. He wasn't allowing himself to see truth. We did a meditation, we went back to that moment, and we were able to clear out that cycle without eliminating any of his personality, without telling him that he needed to change himself as a person. We rewired that without making it complicated. We get back to the easy formula, A plus B equals C, and then we get the result. That's it for today's video, guys. Let me know any other topics you want to see below, and I'll see you next time.